All right, this is Professor Denholtz. Now I'm going to be doing problem 3 of Lab 5. And for this one, there's multiple ways to do this. I'm going to be doing it with the array polar command and the trim command. You can also do it using the polygon command. If you want to get creative, those are probably the best ways to do it. If you try doing this without array polar or polygon, I actually don't know if it can be done um, perfectly without doing a whole bunch of math. And so for that reason, I would strongly recommend either using array polar or maybe exploring with the polygon command to see how you could do it. But let's go ahead and see how I would do this. So the first thing I note is that there are 3 concentric circles. So I'm going to start with the smallest and go up to the biggest. So the first one has a diameter of 1. And so let's draw that. Oh, I already went ahead and started from the layer template the way I always do. So I have all my layers here. I'm probably not going to be going through that every single lab because we've been doing it for a good amount of time, having the layer management. But I'll probably upload it before or get it set up before I start the recordings. So the first one is a diameter of 1. I'm going to zoom in there. This is going to be where we center our object. The second one is a diameter of 2.5, and it's centered on the same location. So 2.5. And then the next one is a hidden layer. So I'm going to switch to hidden. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now this one has a diameter of 4. Now I'm going to go back to my solid layer. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to draw a few horizontal lines which connect directly to the base of this circle, so tangent lines to the circle. You know what, I'm going to use construction lines. There's going to be a few instances where construction lines are going to make it a little bit easier here. So let's do that. I'm going to draw one that is straight downwards. I'm going to draw one that's upwards, but I'm going to specifically do it at a length of 2.25. Now the reason I'm going to make the one going upwards 2.25 is because the distance from this center to the center of this circle is going to be 2.25. Why is it 2.25? Well, we know that the diameter of the larger circle is 4, so half of 4 is the distance from the center to this edge. And if we look over here, these are each a diameter of 0.5, so this circle is a diameter of 0.5. So 2 plus 2.5 is going to get us from this center to the center of this circle. So now I'll make the one over here by 2.25. So these are just a few construction lines that are going to help me. I'm going to go back to my solid layer, and I'm going to continue with what I was talking about. I'm going to make a nice long edge here. It should be pretty long, and I'm going to do it in both directions, and you'll see why I'm doing this. And then I'm going to draw only the top circle up here. And so this circle has a diameter of 0.5, but I'm going to define it with the radius because I have our center location here, and then the radius is just going to be right where we touch the hidden line circle. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to use the polar array, and the polar array is going to help me draw this. So polar array, or I'm sorry, array polar. So array polar. And I'm going to select both of these horizontal lines I drew and this circle. I'm going to hit enter because these are the objects I want a polar array. And I'm going to specify the center point is located over here. Sorry, let's see. I'm going to start over there. I think I might have hit something wrong. So array, polar. Let's do it individually, one at a time. So these two objects, there we go. And we can see here that the ribbon popped up on top. And we have something that says items, between, fill, rows, columns. We're going to leave the rows as 1 right now. And all we're going to do is change items. So we have 6, but we want to have 3. I'm going to hit enter. And now we can see that this forms a triangle. So you might know where I'm going with this now. Basically, we're going to trim the edges to round the corners. And so I'm going to close that array. And now I'm going to repeat it with the circle that I just made over here. And again, we want to switch this to 3. Close. And now this is starting to look a lot more like what we intended it to. So now I'm just going to use the trim command. And each of the corners are an arc of 0.88. Actually, I have to fix that. So trim. Oh, I'm sorry. What did I mean? Trim. We're going to use the fillet command. I apologize for that. So fillet. And we're going to use a radius of 0.88 because that's what we have given over here. And I'm going to do this. I'm just going to repeat it here and here. And then once more over here. And then the last thing I would do is I would go ahead and hide that construction layer. And so this is our object, and we can see it looks just like the drawing. Yeah, it actually might make sense also to add the center marks over here on all of our circles. Okay, so that is problem 3 of Lab 5.